The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room. Welcome to the living room.
It is now 6 p.m. here in the beautiful island of St. Vincent. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked onto the true nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are.
Culture crazy.
First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
Give thanks.
Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because we all know, accept, reiterate, and say it with chest that Columbus slide. But I am not too sure if it's Tony P or Tony D this week. So, Caro, do. Let me hear you.
Yeah, well, the P is for penalty. And the D is for don't do me that. Don't do me that. Alright, because Merry Christmas Nation. If you decide that you're going to take liberties with your driving and vehicular practices, you do not pass go, do not collect 200. Nah, this is double jeopardy. The double up. According to, as I say, the Joker movie, Polly adieu.
So many different things I could say about that.
But shots part due.
Because what, and I don't want to dive in straight to that, how I would liken that to a previous iteration of myself, where I was tracking a young lady, right? And I told her in the tracking phases that, you know what, count on me, I won't do like what your ex-boyfriend did. And about 4 months into the relationship, I started to miss relationshipinal appointments for sweat. Right? So much so that my normal 1 sweat day per week ended up being 3.
Okay. So like I was trying to get away from something. Anyway, actively listening, sorry.
But if you understand where I'm going, I made a promise to get into something. And then when I got in,
You reneged?
I reneged on my promise, and you know what? I even increased what I said I wouldn't do.
Right. So you doubled down then?
Hey, in that case, I tripled down. I was sweating Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Well, I mean, better man, we're still in 2025, you know, we don't know what happen. It might be triple by the time. Anyway, I repeat that, sorry.
I am talking about a previous iteration of myself. I don't know what you are talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for clarity's sake, it has become very expensive in Trinidad and Tobago to do the wrong thing or to be subject to unfortunate circumstances.
Or to
because
born
when
or
you
die.
telling, or to the P is for paperwork, dog, as in you have to pay per work. Anyway, what I'm saying is that if I hit a pothole and my light short, my high blah, but I'm bad, and my light bulb blow.
Right.
There's a 2,000. It don't matter if it happened 2 minutes ago. It don't matter if it was working before I leave home, and you know, by the time I hit that last pothole, trying to avoid the pothole before it, we saying is Aaron, if I add 1 kilometer over the speed limit, 1 kilometer over the speed limit, it could cost you $2,000. could cost you $2,000.
You see, my thing about it is I am understanding until I am not. And I am one that believes that we need safer moments on the road.
I listen it.
However, as I said on a Facebook post I may have made, a couple of weeks ago, I could agree with the goal that we are trying to achieve, but I could also not agree with the way that we are getting there. And I believe that imposing stricter fines is not going to assist in persons just changing the behavior. Because you could pay a fine. Now, again, there was a previous system in place which a lot of us would not have agreed with. But I believe lasting effects on things cause better changes in behavior. So you spoke of, for example, blown light bulbs. If you would not know when a light bulb going and blow. If you're looking at your home, like within your home, could you say when a kitchen bulb going and blow, Caro?
Good. To be honest with you, I think by now I can. But that's different because
it is flicker a little bit before.
Okay, you'll get a flicker, but that's more of a constant use type of thing as opposed to a situational use now. So it might be easier to detect, hey, this bulb looks like it's gonna give trouble, as opposed to a minding a business and then vehicularly something occurs.
Right, but also, how am I supposed to know my brakes light or my ID light in my car blow while I drive it?
You need to be a friendlier driver so that the people in front and behind you will signal you to tell you something is up.
Right? So that is one. So for me, I personally think things like blown bulbs, there should be a 24-hour window for you to show up at the nearest police station thereafter with the repaired bulb for the warning to be removed.
Right. So record warnings then.
Right?
You say they could issue a whole warrant. They could give you a warning and put it on the system. This person was warned, one roadblock ago. So even if one officer tell you, all right, go ahead, you have 24 hours, the next officer can use his discretion and overrule it. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And then you report to the nearest police station with the now fixed bulb.
Right.
Right?
And let them just go into the system and acknowledge. Right.
For things like insurance, for example. If your insurance expires on the 15th and you're going to you're driving on the 15th, your insurance is still valid. However, if on the 16th you are driving without insurance, I think it should be a tiered approach where 1 day is a lower fine than 1 year.
Oh, fair. But no, the tiered approach, I remember, Aaron, this is something that is a contract you're entering into.
And that's what I say. Some persons may say, okay, man, it's expired on the 15th, I will go and pay it on the 16th. Or let's say on the 15th, because there was a time my insurance expired while I was out of the country. And I was driving the day after or 2 days after to go and get my insurance renewed.
Mm-hmm. Why you didn't travel?
Brother man, I can't remember.
Right, what I'm saying is, I understand the abuse of the letter of the law versus the intention of the spirit of the law. So I can understand why somebody will say that some people are bad heart.
Right.
I could dig it. Right, because if you know your license insurance expiring on the 15th, there is no reason that you should wait until the 13th, 14th, or 15th to go and see about it.
But if I don't have the money, because I'm not working.
So what you telling me, and I understand you don't have the money because you're not working, but then don't drive the KMA vehicle. You get what I'm saying? That is a risk you are taking.
But then,
to not just say, Aaron, it have no insurance agency in the world going to say, we are going to cover this person's vehicular repairs because it was only a day out of the contract.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So we work with the day off here, Cardo. They work with the day off. Right?
All right.
I says a man working taxi.
You're a man working taxi.
My insurance expiring on the 15th.
What is called a taxi in St. Vincent?
A taxi?
Okay, alright, cool. Go ahead.
If it is that.
But
Right? And on the 15th, I tried to make enough money to go and pay my insurance. To make up my little 400 extra, whatever the case is. And again, we have to accept and say and admit that there are some police officers who sometimes take things a little too far. So if your insurance expiring on the 15th, they want to know where your new insurance. Brother man, it's
On the
the 15th
12th.
still.
yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is there are instances where if on the 15th I still looking to make my extra to scrape up to make, don't come hard at me on the 15th. On the 16th, by all means. But for me, I just think it should be a tiered approach. Where,
Nah.
okay, no problem.
I hear you. But remember, this is a contract. Insurance is a contract that says because we paid for this, right? It's not like my Prime Video subscription where when it's a week over, they're reminding me that, oh, by the way, if you don't pay it in time, we might cut your subscription. This is a case of
You live in fancy, you have Prime subscription.
well, a hard work. But we go sort that out. What I'm saying is, right? If you remember, insurance is not just about you in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? Insurance is about a contract that affords a certain level of protection to people who might be victims of a circumstance that you might have responsibility for. Right? So what I'm saying is if the day after your insurance expires, you bong somebody's car, right? Are they going to say, well, you were only a day late, so we'll still cover it? No. Right? So you subject the person to being involved in an accident where there is no coverage for them, but you'll get blind. What about me? What about me? Who about? Right? I cannot get that. That's a different thing. However, hey, $2,000 because your oil leaked. Dude, Aaron, was he minimum wage right now?
I don't know. I think it's $22.50 or something.
What you telling me is that people have to work 95 hours to cover a traffic infringement? A parking infringement?
Yeah. Sorry, $20.50.
Right.
So you just had to work just about 94 hours or 95 hours.
My bad. But come on, the P this week should stand for punitive. Alright. Anyway, I'm not saying that I disagree with penalty. Never. I'm a man, I understand order. What I am saying, it is absurd that somebody might have to work for 100 hours to cover a traffic infringement. You might stop to buy a doubles, and it'll cost you $2,000 because it had nowhere to park. There's a point where we risk losing something valuable in the efforts of preserving something else.
Now, for things like reckless driving,
Jam.
What?
Hold
No.
them and walk them.
No, just now.
No.
Reckless driving is still subjective. What could be viewed as reckless driving for you could be different to another officer.
But if a failure, right? Tint. Is tint still subjective?
There's a meter.
Right. Was it grade on the meter that says anything beyond this you're liable to fine? Does it exist? Or it's still discretionary?
No, I can't remember the 10th laws, but yes, have a limit. I think it's 35% and 20% and stuff like that. So there's a limit.
Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, listen, I have no problem with penalty on a scale. None whatsoever. But dude, Aaron, come on! You telling me I stop on the pavement, right? okay, I pull aside to let out a passenger, and you could decide you didn't see me signal.
That's what I'm saying. It's similar to the firework laws where they're saying that if I have to charge somebody for firework as the police officer, I have to see you light the firework and set it off.
All I'm saying, if there is a lot of room for
Misinterpretation.
I say cut swap. But I already with you. And I don't know if you noticed that I'm drinking from my hand engraved supersized coffee mug, right? But that's because
That means you're only drinking 1 cup of coffee a day.
no, it depends. It depends on which cup I drink it. It depends on which cup I drink it. I still
So one of
I'm s-
those.
no what admittedly one of these is probably 2.5 to 3 cups. This should probably be my average daily consumption. Because I'm still a 2.5 to 3 cup guy. Right? However, if it's one of these, I'll probably only have the cup or maybe a third. But my name on it because we didn't really introduce ourselves and we just start talking to people and things.
Oh yes, this is your surely Aaron868. I remind you each and every time that calls here. It's my code. And I sit here alongside my bro with no fro, a lot of flow, always on the go and in the know.
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the global stage.
Wrong.
But no, Ariel, I got a secret social stage. Intensity
Oh.
is something a little more personal. So I'll withdraw it. I'll withdraw it and I'll secret social stage.
Hope other people learn to withdraw some comments too.
Well done, sir.
But just to close off that what we were
Why is
speaking
that
of.
Vincent area code?
Oh my gosh, you're asking hard questions. And
And
then
so
have
you're
to
in a whole country and you don't know nothing about it.
Brother
What is
man?
St. Vincent area code? He's not Aaron868 right now.
Oh wow.
You are not Aaron868 right now. You are Aaron something else.
784.
You are Aaron784.
Yeah.
All right. Aaron784. I can take that. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, but one of the things that as I close off the first part of this is you see the thing for driving under the influence by all means.
Jam. Tea jam. Guava jam. Strawberry jam. Pineapple jam. Toe jam and all.
Oh wow. But things like that I am okay with. But again, you see the little infringements, things that you could just issue a warning for and give somebody a 24-hour period to get that problem
To
solved.
address it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm against those things vehemently.
They're making me want to go and do law and fight crime any night.
But you
Like
know what
Daredevil.
else? But what else? And again, I don't mean to be that guy. But Ray Charles could have seen something like this coming. Within the Standing Finance Committee, they projected for $400 million worth in traffic fines.
All I say is,
How else we feel those going and get?
them not going to do it. You know what we need? If we implementing them kind of hefty penalties, we need a more robust public transport service.
That too.
I just say. Let people park up the car and trap. Because it might not be worth it.
Yeah, and that's my thing. So, all in all, what has been projected for is now being put before us. If people were paying attention to the Standing Finance Committee as opposed to just the budget presentation, they would have known that a lot of these things were coming.
Aaron, you're being a bit of an information snob. You know that most people didn't pay attention to that. Myself included.
Because all we cared about was seeing if we get 10%.
We who I didn't know 10% to get.
All we cared about is if gas was raised again.
I think it's a very underestimating. All right, let me put it like this, Mr. Williams. Nothing, absolutely nothing over the past 8 months or so has surprised me. Nothing. Except no, somebody asked me a question the other day and I had to pause and thought. Right? But that aside, nothing has surprised me. Right? People, let whoever here to hear, let them hear. The people chose to see what they wanted to see. Right? People chose to ignore what they wanted to ignore. That's all I had to say. Because while there are things that I was hopeful about, my hope has diminished considerably. However, my trust is in the Lord. So I am going to continue functioning as if there are things for me in this country. Okay, I say things for me in this country, but things in me for this country as well. You see what I said it? Right. So I have somebody to become and some things to do, and I'm going to do that. Because Trinidad and Tobago needs us to show up for it.
Now, again, I don't mean to be that guy.
You could be Angel.
Again, yeah, I know that. What persons don't tend to study is the part that says on the tickets that if you can't pay the fine, you are liable for a period of imprisonment. So, guys, in the words of our wise Minister of Finance, wear a little something just in case now.
From time you, so every time you start your car, you gotta make sure you have your dust put on. You have a 2,000 put on somewhere. It's like you're in a Monopoly now, right? And you had a boardwalk. Now
Boardwalk put on.
Yeah.
Right, or the $50 if you get thrown in jail.
Right. Anyway. I'm not looking for that right now, Aaron. Aaron, we on the embers of the year.
Yeah, today is the 30th of December.
Right. The earliest days was hey, was that Tusty? Tusty water?
Yeah,
I like that. That's clever. Tusty water. You would think somebody looking? You would think Trinidad and Tobago would have released something like that. Tusty TT water. Tusty. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. Yeah. So tell me a little something about what's up with you, Mr. Williams. I mean,
So
I see in Dodiga Hers, and I love the authentic nightlife experience that you're sharing with us. But it had a back that makes some laps.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. So I am in St. Vincent. I would have had a performance with Joshua here on Sunday night at the Rhythm and Vibes Music Festival, where they would have featured talent from across the Caribbean. I was honored to meet Beckett. If you don't know who Beckett is, I don't have the haircut, but just think of Angela Rushme.
Rex.
Right? I was honored to meet Kevin Little. Yes. Along with some other instrumentalists and musicians on both Barbados and Grenada, as well as here in St. Vincent.
Were they excited to meet you, Ira?
No, they were not excited to meet me. However, they accommodated my presence.
Oh, okay. So they don't know that you're the guy who dropped a Soca Paramix that had 115,000 views.
No.
In 3 weeks.
Surprisingly though, however, I heard more Parang here after Christmas than I heard in Trinidad before Christmas. Go figure. But, and I'm sorry I don't have pictures to show from the places that I would have met, because Sunday was some of the worst weather we would have experienced while being on this trip.
Yeah, a little local rain in Tobago and Northeast Trinidad too. So.
Rain poured from 6 p.m. on Sunday till just about 4 a.m. on Monday morning.
What there?
Yeah.
What there?
Rain
I
and
thought you were
work.
going to say, that you didn't have any pictures of the Parang here yet. And I'm going to tell you, well, your camera real bad.
Right, but it was a great experience to hear a lot of young artists and instrumentalists. It was a great experience. Well, we left before Beckett because the rain was really coming down. Right? But to hear Beckett in sound check, he still has the voice.
Yeah.
We also had-
I just wanted to big up the audio team, the sound team for that event, right?
Oh, from the video I sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sound top notch.
There was a man that we met at dinner on Saturday night. I fondly call him the St. Vincent, the Vincentian Kenny Phillips. Yeah. I don't know if that's a compliment. I don't know if that's a compliment to the gentleman or not. Oh, but he had a story to go with everything.
Ah, okay. Now I know the context within which you speak. I could feel free to express. All right, cool.
Right, and on Monday we would have done a tour, well, not of the island, but we went across the Beckway.
The Beckway is beautiful.
And we went in search of Princess Margaret. Not the one known to Trinidadians, but the beach.
Okay.
Right?
Beckway.
It was really, really fun.
Well, you went captains?
No, we didn't go captains.
Okay. Yaks? I tell you to answer.
Brother man, I didn't ask anything. I just went with the flow on Monday.
Fine.
And that's something I want to speak on, really. For me personally, I like to be in control of most situations. Know what's going on, know where things are going, and those kinds of things.
I would have never guessed.
However, one thing I have learned to do on trips like these that I'm getting to experience because of my talent as opposed to my tutelage is that I have to enjoy these trips more, enjoy these moments of life. So if it's one thing that I could say that I have learned and continue to learn and try to practice is enjoy moments more.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that.
wow. So a fun fact, I can't swim well.
You know who would be very disappointed to hear that after all this time?
Yeah, I know. I started to learn
I'm a killer.
and I would have sadly I don't get to practice it often.
Let me hope. Let me hope that remains so. That remains that way. You want to be practicing at a point in time when you realize you should have practiced more.
Right? And yesterday when we went across to Beckway, firstly the water was cold. So I wasn't looking to venture in. But you know how some beaches they have that gradual decline into the water? Beckway was
Like a Macarib there.
very worse than Macquarie.
The worst than the submarine.
Yeah. And to get back to the ferry, we were late. So we had to take a pirogue. Guys, a man hold on for their life on that pirogue, boy. Oh,
There
my
we
word.
go. I presume that you were jacketless?
Jacketless too.
Yeah, I know somebody not going to be too pleased to hear that.
Yeah. So I need to tell that story before this episode comes. But really and truly, it was really exciting because it's moments like that gives you stories to tell.
Hey, I mean, stories to tell, right? Maybe this might be the last time you get to go out, you know, because if somebody here you went on a pirogue without your life jacket, they might have their passport.
Right? Yeah, no comment whatsoever. But again, is moments like these that give you these stories to tell, and you know how fun it will be to tell each other and things like that, right?
And then I know how many stories that I would not tell them because I've had some good times, but I've also made some horrible decisions.
No, but the thing is, if you don't tell them the horrible decisions, Ricardo, how you expect them to make better ones? And don't just say by being the example, because sometimes you have to tell your children the bad decisions you made to make them make better ones.
Yeah, a lot of parents don't understand the value of teaching a children from a testimonial parenting, right? You're teaching the kids from this principal perspective, and they don't get what you're saying because they don't consider you an authority on either failure, experience, or understanding what it's like to go through the seasons that they go through.
Because that's the thing, you learn a lot more in failure than in success.
You will realize, Aaron, that nobody who have a favorite subject dislike the teacher. No, I shouldn't use nobody as a completely exclusive statement. But generally, when people say that the favorite subject in school was so and so, it was strongly related to how they felt about the teacher.
Good point, yeah.
Right? Can you think of a single subject you loved and you didn't like the teacher?
I'm not too sure, you know.
Right. But when you think of subjects that you hate, it's a lot easier to remember the teachers that contributed to your dislike.
Yeah,
It
correct.
is.
Like chemistry.
Parenting have similar principles, you know. The relationship you have with your kids could strongly influence how they feel about things. And vice versa. Right? How you feel about things could influence the relationship that you have. But anyway, there's that time and space to go into those philosophical approaches to things, which I'm going to be doing a lot over in 2026, to be honest with you. I think too many people need that particular brand of insight that the Lord has blessed me with. So I'm really going to work on some more direct projects as opposed to just helping people build out their things. I think I really need to start have a certain type of conversation because Jesus is just people out here need all the help they could get. Present company could do it. Hey, speaking of needing help, Mr. Williams, please indulge me for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago, I'm asking for your help with something. I want, if possible, 4 people out of the entirety of people who listening and in Trinidad or even particularly South Trinidad who listening to this program right now, 4 people to donate a pint of blood each to Mr. Russell, for Mr. Russell Garraway, right, for a life-changing, life-saving surgery that he has to undergo. Right, his blood type is B positive, if I'm not mistaken, but he could donate B, like they put it a B or negative or positive, all of that will work. But the bottom line is donate a pint of blood, right, at either San Fernando General Hospital or Mount Hope. But because it's a South thing, you know what, if you could just go down in the hospital and donate a pint of blood, God bless you, and I appreciate it. But I just need 4 people. 4 people to make that sacrifice. 4 people to contribute to this man, Russell Garraway, being able to engage this surgery. Right? It's just 4 people out of the entirety of Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, the people in New York and Brooklyn and Boston and things, I know they would have loved to help, but
if you're out there and you're listening, tell somebody who you think could help.
yeah, and let's get 4. Right, 4 for Garraway. 4 away, right, from Garraway. God willing, by the time we talk next week, I'll be able to tell you that we hit it. Right, that we hit the mark. I'd appreciate it. Outside of that, it doesn't make sense have any hair of the people and the can ask for help when they need it. Right, so Russell Garraway, San Fernando General Hospital, 4 pints. Right, counting on all them. Literally counting. 4. Right, God bless all for 2025 and 2026. So 4.
That's all. You can't put 8 fingers and say 4.
My bad. 4 away for Garraway. Yeah, appreciate it. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Here now, I'm saddened. I briefly opened my phone and social media reminded me that as much as I say Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous New Year, they ain't looking too bright. I should not have gone on social media.
Pop on.
No, just saw Monday's headline again on The Guardian.
Where's that one?
Probably Trinidad and Tobago is a lot less stuff. Sigh.
Dump I could agree with. When last to pick up garbage by you?
Well, like yesterday or the day before because the tray empty now.
Okay, must be nice.
What you know? You even know?
Brother man, I could watch the cameras home and know.
Oh, so you Mr. Technology? Alright. Anyway, let me move on from that. Let me end on a high note. We're already so far away. Everyone knock a glass. You know what the P this week stands for? Aaron? Presents. Alright? Presents. I get a brilliant Fiesta bread the other day. It is delicious. Right? It's like a fruit. It's like a sweet bread plus. Right? It have orange and thing in it. It's delicious. And I get a cup, a big mug with my name engraved on it. You know what I was drinking in that lovely cup just now with Mr. Williams? Some Earl Grey tea. You know who got me Earl Grey tea? That's right. Right? Earl Black himself. Yeah. Earl Black with a little hints of grey. You have a very richly black berry. That's how I call it Earl Black. That's how you wear a black jersey.
That's some green up my way.
Yeah. Right, but I was rocking the tea just now, and I'm like, ain't no thinking bad, you know. Thinking too bad. And you know what? Thinking about presents, like this lovely portrait of myself that was done by Kyra Gill as a gift from Holy Free Convent Penal for when I hosted one of their fundraisers 5 or 6 years ago.
How much of a years ago, yeah?
Yeah, it was a while ago. In fact, this summer so it prompted me to, start to bring back all the mustache. I don't know if you noticed my mustache looking a little rich. Yeah. I'll go and resurrect the old look. Right, bring back Gandalf and thing here. And I was thinking about presents. There's a lot that people do for us that we tend to take for granted. Just by being in a community with them. And I don't want to take anybody for granted. I want to thank Keon Tendashi Taylor. Right? Keegan has been very, very supportive in terms of his advice and even his resources. Right? I appreciate the encouragement and the support and the push. It's really good to see when somebody reach a certain level in a space and they're extending hands outward to others to come up with it. Right, so big up him. Big up Krisha. Big up Krisha. Right, for Krisha, if I'm not mistaken, she launching a new location for her corporate workspace project. Right, where, entrepreneurs could actually go to a space and function within an office without having to have, all of the amenities in their own individual offices as a community workspace. Trying to remember the name of the thing, and then I kind of wait. But I know she recently moved location. Actually had like a planning session Sunday going. Big up, God and thanks and God bless to Kanisha and the Fresh Press Cafe crew. Right, because she have a line of merchandise now. Right, she do some interesting renos recently. It's good to see people doing well. Big up Aaron. Big up Aaron who, stunting on a fairly successful release. And you had said that if you'd made last week, you did say if you made 100,000 views by the end of the month. By the end of the year, which was the same thing, that you would drop our next mix. I had told you that you spell Montreal, and that is really weak, you meant to say. And before the week was up, you had hit and surpassed. So I'm looking forward to Callaloo and Calypso.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm actually ahead of the majority of y'all right now. So if you go and check out the Sorrel and Soca Parang, if you watch straight till the end, there's a suggested mix that's there.
There we go.
And that suggested mix is Calypso and Callaloo. Callaloo and Calypso, sorry.
I know what to say. Yeah.
At a moment there, sorry. Callaloo and Calypso.
That's fine.
But if you want to search for it on your own, you could head across to YouTube or SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts and search for Callaloo. And Callaloo is spelled C-A-L.
Callaloo.
Thank you. Call aloo. I'm going to say aloo is like potato.
Yeah. And no potato.
And, well, Walk and Calypso. Right?
CALLALO. Callaloo
Right.
and Calypso.
And just to let you know, it's up on Wax YouTube channel.
Hey, big up. I like Wack. Wack has given me a very, very, very interesting 2025. And I believe Wack is going to give me an even more interesting 2026. In fact, I am determined to give Wack the most interesting year that they've had thus far.
Be careful, Walk.
Yeah, all of you know got are crazy. You ain't seen nothing yet, man.
But hear this one, right? Now, I've traveled a good bit this year, and I'm
Yeah, me
very
too.
thankful for it, right? Ricardo, no, I think the comparison.
Oh,
we'll
you
make
mean
is-
internationally?
And I want to go and say,
Oh,
the,
okay, alright, cool.
the comparison we will make is like Trinidad Rio's traveling man, where I am Sparrow and Ricardo is Trinidad Rio, right?
It had to be like that. Anyway, go ahead.
And over this year, I've traveled to 3 CARICOM islands.
I traveled to Chaponas, Port of Spain, and a storm.
Right.
I travel the same. Mhm.
Antigua, Grenada, and now St. Vincent.
Antigua.
I did a layover in Dominica as well.
I hit Dominica real pretty, you know.
Yeah, and Barbados too.
Love Barbados. The food
Right.
portions are amazing.
And one thing I always try to not do is translate at the point of purchase.
That's
but
a
there are some-
surefire way to get someone.
Exactly. But there are some things that I will just not tolerate.
Understood.
I refuse to pay approximately 10 EC for a Lucasade. It's $28 for a Lucasade, This bottle of water here is 5 EC.
Dusty water.
Dusty water. Dollar for dollar. Again, some things you could tolerate. What? 10 EC for a Lucasade, brother. A jewelry line there.
So that means you pretty much spend $14 TT for that bottle of water. Let me ask you a question. I'm a child of the 80s, Mr. Whitlops. You have no tap over there? No faucets? No standpipes?
They
No
do,
sinks?
but the hotel I'm at advised us against drinking the pipe water.
Well, yeah, because the selling water for lazy upper.
I actually got
That's-
this at a Trinidadian born grocery.
Yeah, if it's one thing you'll get is a lot of Trinis doing retail
No.
outside.
No. Listen to what I said.
But
A
Trinidadian born grocery.
Trinidad-born grocery.
Oh, not like an individual who was born in Trinidad and started a grocery. Oh, you mean one of those?
Yeah.
Blink, blink, blink. Does it rhyme with wasi?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And as I said in last week's episode, one thing I have appreciated a lot on my travels this year is that I continue to get to eat the things I like to eat from Trinidad of the islands.
I mean, I thought them do nothing like. Anyway, stop it, Cardo. Stop
Exactly.
it.
I got a call after last week's episode.
I laugh
That's-
nervously. Go ahead.
That we should cease and desist from that nature of conversation. I would like to inform the person who called me knows me well, but I'd like to inform the other persons who would have messaged out of concern. It doesn't matter what administration is in power. Ricardo and I have held them accountable.
That's right.
And
That's right.
we will continue to do so.
That's what we're talking about.
We understand
Yeah.
that there's a level of responsibility in our speech. We will try our best to maintain and uphold that level of responsibility which is entrusted to us. However, we will not demit our responsibility of holding persons accountable.
Yeah. Yeah, trouble corner. Anyway, we could deal with that. I would deal with that. Man, like, that many people listening though. So thank you. Thank you guys for listening and for your concern. I appreciate you all. Hey, and thank you to the listeners who stayed on. God bless all you. Like, when I mean God bless all you, I really want all you to just stumble across a random blessing over the next 3 days. And you'll stop and think to yourself, well, wait now. That is because I was listening to the living room. And them fellas really say, God bless me. This week, boom. Wait for it. It coming. God bless all of you for staying on and listening. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And God ain't gonna make me no liar. Bless all of it. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Well, I gotta understand. Aaron and I went through spells where we would watch the listenership. And I being transparent with all of you. Because I want you to understand how much all you mean to me. But we would watch the numbers go from 140 and 150 people watching to 16. Right? So for who stay on and for who comes on, I appreciate all of it. Thank you. I'm not joking when I say blessings.
You know, as you say blessings, usually when I come on trips, I rarely ever.
Hey, how you talking on now? I don't want to go about.
Wow.
Well, usually
Yeah.
when I go on trips, my butler brings my baggage. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead. Mr. Traveling man.
Usually when
No,
when I come on
please.
trips, most times the gigs are on a Saturday night.
No.
So
Yeah.
waking up early on a Sunday is sometimes tough.
Ew.
So this was the first trip where I was able to get up early on the Sunday morning and go to church.
You went to church in St. Vincent?
So I went to church in St. Vincent on Sunday morning. And the Sunday within the Catholic religion was the Feast of the Holy Family.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I had a work trip, as you all have learned here. So I was away from my new family.
Yeah. Big up the new fuck.
Pick up the new family. Right? And it's something that we have to understand, that the sacrifices that persons make due to work. However, even though you may be separate and apart from your family, it doesn't negate the responsibility that you still have to hold for yourself to maintain traditions that you want to set with your family, as well as maintaining traditions that you have for yourself. And when I say that, ensuring that prayer remains at the center.
Hey, what shit, man? Go ahead.
Right? So on a previous trip, I was nervous about it because it was a long haul flight, my first ever. And go on the Wi-Fi, well, connected to the Wi-Fi, and we said a prayer before I would have boarded.
Right.
This time, being away on the Feast of the Holy Family, I made sure and made it my business to go to church, and she did as well. Though we were separate and apart, we still maintained that thing that is a cornerstone within our relationship. So,
All that video call?
now we couldn't, it was in church, I could video call.
So that's what we say. What phones are working church? You take a selfie, selfie, but you take 2 selfie, and send it to me. I go. Edit it up and thing. I make a little like all else.
We didn't take
Oh,
selfies
right.
or anything, but we made sure and sent pictures that we were there.
Yeah, amen.
Right? And one thing I would say is island time different. As one.
Yeah.
And two, island music is a lot different as well. So I sing in songs in one way that I know I sing it in church home all the time. Brother,
Yeah,
man,
home, bro.
It end a way, but all of a sudden I sing new verses. I see new verses in hymns that I sing in my whole life. But all in all I'm saying is, to the men out there who may have to leave their families for work reasons, and women as well, sorry. But I took
Dude, you know what? You say what you had to say. You say what you had to say. This is me actively listening. Sorry.
because we had to talk to the men.
Yeah, fellas.
So fellas,
always get deeper.
so when you and the other take work trips or have obligations that may have you away from the family, don't forget to cover them in prayer. Right? Because yes, you are protector and provider, but part of the protector is spiritual protection. Yeah, I'm not saying turn into prophet or priest or anything like that. Simple prayers. No, of course, not everybody wants to go down that road, Carter, but what I'm saying is,
Hey,
simple prayer.
did I say good? Most of the people who been sent out that road, they want to. Yeah. Anyway,
Whoever
But
cooking, whoever
it's-
cooking that food around here smelling real good.
let me tell you, I used one in Golden, right?
No, I'm smelling.
But there's a conversation that we had to have in 2026. Or let's stop overloading food at Golden Ray and say that you know what to cook.
Brother
I
man,
want it when I'm sorry, I have no disrespect to Golden Ray, but I want to taste food when I eat it.
brother man, when I moved into my house 10 years ago, I bought a golden ray. 8 years into living there, I threw it out. I threw it away, sorry.
No, through is fine. That is fine. Because through is too proper. Right? What? Oh, that thing to expire. Something is wrong. Oh, yeah. Anyway, hey, by the way, anybody from Golden Ray who looking to sponsor the program, you just drop us a message. We'll talk about it. Or they can come on the show and talk about all the virtues of Golden Ray. For the for the limiter. I had no problems with that. And anybody from Wasi or any other similar sounding grocery chain across the Caribbean, if you're interested in sponsoring the program, give me a message too. Let's talk. Let's talk about all the ways in which your brand has serviced and continues to service the Caribbean communities.
Right?
Yeah.
And as we get perilously close to the hour 7 p.m., and this will be our last show with you all before the turn of the clock into 2026. We want, as Ricardo said, and I totally support, we have to thank you all for sticking with us throughout this year. I know I have been very sporadic in my Friday nights. I will try to do better.
You know what? It have a plan for that.
Right. Again, is a balance between, and I'm being transparent here, it's a balance between the radio station as well as the other commitments which I have, because before I entered WAC, I was a DJ that used to do plenty jobs. I don't do as much now because you have to know where you are in your career. And you can't do the same things you was doing when you started. But there are things that will make me have to miss Fridays, and I am sorry for that. But it just comes along with the territory of the job that right? So I will try my best to do better, and I'm teaching Cardo to be able to come in. So
Yeah, these I'll be able to. I'll be able to play some DJ Aaron868 mixes and answer
I
the phone.
talk, but
Until hey, you getting that? Let me practice my Aaron voice.
nah, don't practice it. You're fine.
I'm in my travels, as a cultural ambassador of sports.
I'm not. Also, guys,
I love tea.
remember, I think we have the first of the
Give me
first
my
of the first.
umbrella.
Wow, we have the first of the first on the first, which takes place on Thursday at 6 p.m. Yeah. Right? I'm not too sure what Kenny has planned, but we hope and pray for 2026. Kenny communicates better his plans to us.
This is me saying nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I could say that.
You could say that. You're telling you. I think you're saying that.
No, because Kenny does sometimes just say, yeah, be there for 6 o'clock. You don't know where you're going for. And you know that, Carl.
It has stories. Anyway, I can't tell these stories until I tell the people who in the stories about the stories, and then we could share the stories. But Kenny's a man. Kenny's a man leave his mark on a lot of people, you know.
Correct. No doubt there. Positively and negatively.
Yeah. I tell man, Kenny come and tell him that he buy the Jeep. And then earlier this year when we interview Kenny, a man talk about Kenny now, Ricky Jai talk about the Jeep breakdown. So they're going in our maxi. Yeah, that was a true story, and it was Kenny Jeep.
Also, if he has ever told you the Rat Shorty story,
Which one?
how we thought that he was going to tell him thanks, but he ended up thanking the maxi driver. Yeah, but
Oh yes. Hey, big up you, Kenny, and the entire KMPT.
yeah.
I miss
So
Mr.
guys-
Diane and everybody.
So keep it locked to the True Nation station. Mr. Desmond is up next with the big band, I think. I think I'm here on Thursday and supposed to be here on Friday as well.
Okay. That's how I keep
Guys-
me posted.
That's barring that I get back into the country.
Hey, no, guys. Barring them, barring you. Worry yourself, man. It'll be alright. You'll be alright. Just tell them it's just paid for work. And the name is DJ Aaron868. Not 784.
I can't say that, sir.
Can't say that?
No, I can't. The
You
bat
mind my
almost,
business.
the bat almost attacked me here. See what?
Oh, that what happened just now? Hey, alright, well, I guess it's time to wrap it up. Call it a night, call it a year. Let me send out those. In case you want to get melodramatic. Listen, there's a man who like your drama. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again. Very, very patiently, hopefully enthusiastically, and with a lot of gratitude. I thank you. I thank you for being here with us, but encouraging us, for praying that we reach home safely after shifts. Every time that they tell us have a good night. As simple as those things are, they go a really long way, and we appreciate all of you, most of you. I ain't gonna lie, like most of some just extra miserable, and that's alright too. It takes all kinds. But the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. And after gone, keep it locked to the True Nation station WACK 90.1, where we are culture crazy. And this is Ricardo Metro, the social sage. Working over 10 cities. Aaron, I appreciate you, bro. I hand over to you to close stuff and wrap up here. And well, yeah. It's been a pleasure.
No such a long talk to close it off. However, I must remind you to keep it locked to the True Nation station WACK 9.1 FM, where we are culture crazy. Yours truly, Aaron868, that I remind you each and every time that culture is my code. I also tell you that love is the currency, so spend some today. Let somebody know you love them, guys. And as we enter into 2026, don't let it be licks. Make sure and have a lot of fun, but make sure and be responsible. Guys, that is as much as I have to say. Keep it locked. Mr. Desmond is up next. We hope. And we will be back on Thursday and Friday. Keep it locked. This food smelling real good, right? What about cooking it?
I just amazed. I just amazed. That how much links does rhyme with economics and politics. But let's
No
not
comment.
end the on that note.
Goodbye.
Keep it locked.